Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the next episode in the little Frontier build. As you can see, I got the bed removed for your viewing pleasure. I also got to do some rust work while I got it off. But mainly today, I'm going to be talking about swapping a Titan axle into a Frontier. I'm going to be talking about what you have to do to both the truck and the axle to make them compatible. I'm going to talk about why you would want to put a Titan axle in a Frontier. I'm going to go over sourcing a Titan axle and the different ratios that are available and which ones you would want. And then if you've never seen the inside of a Titan M226, especially one with a e-locker, you're going to want to hang around to the end because I'm going to take the cover off it, inspect it, and we'll take a look at it. Let's get that intro out of the way. Let's get the first thing out of the way. Why would someone want to put a Titan axle under a Frontier? Well, generally speaking, you're going to want to do it if you have a Titan swap already in the front. You know, you put the longer control arms from a Titan or an Armada on it, and you made the front wide. I mean, that's the main thing. You get the width without having to use spacers. In addition to that, look at how small the Frontier brakes are, and look at how much larger the Titan ones are. So you get a sweet brake upgrade in the process. Some things need to be changed on this axle to make it work. Some things don't. The first thing you need to change on this axle is you're going to have to move the spring perches. Titans and Frontiers have similar frames, and they're the same width. I want you to take a look how Nissan designed the rear suspension on the Frontier. You can see the spring pretty much goes directly under the frame. Well, now I'm under the back end of this donor Titan here. You can see the frame right here. You can see the springs here. You can see the suspension setup. They pretty much outboarded the springs so they could get the wider axle under it. So you got to do one of two things. You either got to move that spring perch on the axle, this guy, or you're going to have to outboard the springs on the frame to make it line up that way. The easier of the two, in my opinion, is just to move the perches on the axle. Now, how would you calculate how far to move the perches? Let me show you. So if you measure from the outside of that spring to the outside of this spring, it's 47.5 inches. Then find somewhere that's consistent on your donor axle.
What the dog doing?
I measured from here to here, and that's 65 inches. You want to measure it high because if you try to use a tape measure and you measure it down low, you got to go over the hump of the differential case and it'll throw your reading off. Now, if you subtract 47.5 from 65, it gives you 17.5. You divide that by 2 for each side, it gives you 8 3/4. We'll come back to where we originally measured from. You see where 8 3/4 is? The outside of this is going to end up being about right there. So that'll get you pretty close. You're not going to want to officially weld on your new purchase or your reused purchase until you get it in the truck, and you can do your fine tuning then. But that'll get you pretty close to where it needs to be. Now, obviously, if this perch is moved about here, that's going to get in the way of this brake line, which brings me and segues me in right onto the next subject, and that is brake hoses. These two trucks have different rear brake setups, the way the hoses are run. I'm trying not to get a shadow in my picture here. You see, here's the brake line for the driver's side. It's got a brake hose that runs down and goes under the axle right here, or it goes over the axle and then under the spring to the caliper. And then it's got this hard line that runs all the way across the top of the frame. And then you've got another brake hose that drops down on this side. On the Titan axle, this is your old brake hoses where I cut them off in the junkyard. But they come down in the same spot. And then you got hard lines that run over to each side, and you've got a little rubber line for the caliper here. And the same thing, you see you got that hard line that runs all the way over there, and it does the exact same thing. That stuff's going to have to come off. Now, I haven't got it 100% figured out, but my plan is to use stainless braided hose, and I'm just going to drop it right off of the Frontier side and go under the spring and just be a little extended to go to the bigger calipers. That's my current plan. In the next video, when I'm actually installing this axle, we'll see exactly what I come up with and what works. The next subject is ABS sensors. So on the Titan, it appears that they kind of come up here and here. If you come over here and look on the Frontier, it's just like the brake hoses. You got one that pops up on this side and one that pops up on that side. The plugs seem to be compatible. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm just going to reroute this one so it'll come up on this side, and reroute this one where it'll come up on this side. That looks pretty straightforward. Now let's talk about things that are the same. I've got the parking brake cables kind of run like they would on the truck. These cables are trash. I'm gonna have to get some new ones. If you come over here to the Frontier, you will see that they kind of, there's the park brake cable right there. They kind of run in a similar fashion. So my theory is, so I'll just get me a set of Titan cables to replace those. They should be compatible. Things you don't have to change. Look at the shock mount. You got one here, and you got one here. If you think about it, if you move that perch in, and you move this perch in, look at where they're at. That's going to work perfect. And the other thing you don't have to change is the flange. That should bolt right up between these two. Now, that doesn't look too bad, right? You want to do a Titan rear axle swap on your Frontier now, correct? So let's talk about sourcing one and where you can find one and what you're looking for. All right, let's get this out of the way. Some people watching this is going to understand this, and some people aren't, because I'm going to go ahead and explain it real fast. When you're talking about gear ratios, the higher the number is actually the lower the gear, and vice versa. So if it's a lower number, it's a higher or taller gear. If you're putting bigger tires on your vehicle, you're going to go a higher number, but an actual lower gear is the plan. Or you got to keep it the same. All right, I got that out of the way. Specifically, Titans, you're looking for 04 to 15 Nissan Titan. The 04 to 07 axles have smaller wheel bearings in them. So the 08 to 15 is the more desirable axle. This one came out of an 05, but it's got an E-locker. So that makes it worth it to me. Of course, there's going to be a video of me actually wiring up that E-locker. Just because you don't have a factory locker in your truck don't mean you can't have one if you get a donor with one in there. Now, your 16 and up Titans, I don't know where the brackets are. I don't have one to go off of. They may be compatible. It may be exactly like this. I don't know. If you have any knowledge on that, drop a comment. I'd love to know. I need to go see if I can find one wrecked in the junkyard and take some measurements off of it and take a look. But specifically, we're talking about 04 to 15 Titan rears. They got two ratios that they came with. And it's 293 and 3.36. In my opinion, the 293 one is next to useless unless you're going to re-gear it. Reason why is because all Frontiers come with a gear that is a lower, numerically higher gear than that 293. So if you've got an automatic Frontier, they either have a 3.13 or a 3.36. So you can put a 3.36 Titan rear in either one of those. Obviously, if you've got the 3.13, you're going to want to get that front center section in your four-wheel drive. If you're two-wheel drive, it don't matter. You put whatever you want to. Now, if you got a manual transmission Frontier, they came with 3.54s, or what I like to call the yin-yang twin gears, which is the 3.69. Somebody about my age will get that corny joke. If you have a manual Frontier, you're going to have to put in your budget, or I would recommend putting it in your budget to get it re-geared and to do the front as well. You got to at least have it your 369 or even deeper, depending on what tire size you're running. I did find out that the 16 and up Titans were available with the yin yang twin gears, or there was some 391s and some 408s. If it's not hard to put one of those in a Frontier, and if the front center section is compatible, I'm not sure, then that would be cool. But like I say, I don't have knowledge on that. I'm just telling you about the ones I have knowledge on, which is the 04 to 15 axles. Now, if you're sourcing an axle, how do you know what gear ratio it's got in it? Well, I'm about to show you. There's three different ways. Way number one, look in the door of your donor. Come on, door. Find the label. You see right there where it says axle? And this one says CC33. CC means it's an M226. The 33 means it has a 3.36 gear ratio. We'll go to the Frontier and look at its label. As you can see, it says CA33. The CA means it has a C200 rear, and the 33 means it's a 3.36. If it had a 3.13 gear in it, it would end in 31. And if it has a 3.54, it would end in 35. If it has yin yang twin gears, it would be 36. I'll show you another example. We'll come out here to the Armada. As you can see, it says RD29. This would mean that it has the 293 gears in it. And the RD is that weird whatever it is in the back of our Armada because it's independent suspension. The next way to check your gear ratio, this comes in real handy if you're buying an axle out of that you don't know the truck that it came out of. For example, if you know it's a Titan axle, but you don't have the truck it came with, so you can't look in the door. Like if it's a Facebook Marketplace find, dude's got a loose Titan axle. This also is not just a Nissan thing. This works on any axle. If you don't know the gear ratio and you don't want to crack it open, you're going to have a paint pen or some way to mark it. All right, you're going to want to take a mark and put it on your pinion flange at a 12 o'clock position. You're going to want to remove all your brakes and stuff so that it won't hang, because if it starts, sometimes it'll hang up and throw you off. You want it loose on both sides. See, I took the caliper off on that side too. You're going to find somewhere on this axle shaft to mark it. And you want to mark it on the axle shaft like there, and then something that don't move, like this park brake shoe. That don't move. You see how that's lined up? Now what you're going to do is you're going to start turning this pinion flange around, and you're going to count how many times this pinion flange turns for that axle shaft to turn one time all the way around. So let's try it. There's one turn. Two turn. Three turn. And then a little bit more. And so it stopped over here. So it turned three, and then three is exactly up here, and then went all the way around. So that kind of shows you that it's a 3.36. So if you imagine if it's 100 all the way around, and then like 350 would be straight down, and like, you know, the 369 would be over here, and your 293 would be like it went almost to 3, but not quite. So this is like the 3.6 in the circle. That's not an exact science, but it can get you real close in a pinch. The third way is to just remove the cover and count the teeth. All right, let's start turning into this thing. Yeah, the juice looks pretty good. I ain't seeing a whole lot of sparklies. Little pieces of silicone. Well, there it is. Good news is the ring gear looks good. I don't see any other issues in there. This appears to be what actuates the locker. You can't really see it. I doubt the camera's picking it up, but there's another sensor back here, and I'm pretty sure that's the sensor that turns the light on if, you know, when it was in the factory vehicle. I thought I saw some nastiness coming out, like some brass flakes, but I don't know what that would be. And it's not brass. It's like pieces of silicone. I think somebody's been in here and they put too much silicone. I mean, almost, yeah. You see how much silicone? That's way too much silicone. RTV, whatever you want to call it. But getting to the third way of finding out your gear ratio is that you got to mark this, and you got to count the teeth on the ring gear. And you got to count the teeth way up under there under the pinion. And then you have to divide them. And that'll give you your ratio. As big as this carrier is, that's going to be a pain in the butt to see the count them pinion teeth. Well, then look, I started cleaning this thing up. I don't know if you can see that 47 and 14. You don't have to count the gears if you can find that. If you take 47 and divide it by 14, you end up with 3.357. When you round that up, that's 3.36. And I'm kind of messing with this E-locker. See the E-locker right here? I got a very rudimentary setup here. I thought this was pretty cool. Watch this. Give this thing some power. See that thing popped out? That locks it in, and that unlocks it. It's a working locker. Well, that's going to pretty much wrap up this video. I have a lot of parts to order. I have a lot of rust to scrub. I have a lot of painting to do. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm going to do off camera. So the next video, I think I'm probably going to do a short video on my plan for this old frame rust here. It's not terrible. There's no pokies. It's just a bunch of surface rust. Get that grinded off and get it painted. Pull the older end out. Get the crusty shocks off of there. Order a whole bunch of stuff. So once I get this thing installed, I'm definitely do a video, show you the purchase I used and what brake lines I used and everything else, and show you what it looks like installed in this truck. So if any of that interests you and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I got a lot I'm going to do to this truck. If you didn't see the beginning videos, I'm going to do a VK56 swap in this thing. I'm doing the Titan rear axle, obviously. Before it's over with, the brakes and all, I'm going to end up with like a Titan on Ozempic. It's just going to be a Frontier body and frame with all Titan everything else. So it's a pretty dope project. I'm ecstatic. The inside of that axle looks pretty good because I've had it sitting out here in the weather for a lot longer than I'd like to admit. And if you watched this far, I'm ecstatic about that too. Thanks for stopping by. Come back and see me.